I've got my quilt top and backing finished for my spooky quilt, so now I'm just gonna quilt it. I'm gonna do a real basic quilting on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring you back and show you what I actually did for the quilting, and you'll be able to get a better look at the back and all that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a simple stitch right down the center of my spider webs here. This spider webs go all the way down the center of this quilt. So I'm just going to do a simple stitch right down the center, and then I'm going to come back and do through each of the spider webs on the other blocks. So hopefully this is going to go okay. My fusible batting doesn't seem to want to fuse today, so I've put a couple extra pins in. Hopefully my back's not getting too far off, but I guess we'll find out. I'm not sure I'm going to love this color either, or the zigzag stitch that I chose, but we'll see. In fact, I may have done it just a little bit too big. I was thinking more, I don't know, I was thinking a little bit smaller, but I wanted to go with a fairly sizable stitch, so may end up going ahead and decreasing it just a little bit. Hopefully you won't notice that I've started that. I don't know, I actually like them, kinda. I don't know, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it the way it was. Could go very wrong because you get to the corners, there's a lot of bulk to go through, and it's really hard to get it even. I can already tell that it's really not, but maybe that'll be part of the charm, right? It'll just be very spooky looking. We'll see what we get here. Oop, I'm getting off a little bit. Uh-oh. I guess what I'm going for in the quilting on this is fast. I love doing the piecing. I like quilting too, I just am not really good at it. Of course, if I practiced more. Also, I'm losing, I had to put a little extra strip of batting in here and I'm losing it. I may just end up taking it out till I get to that end. I'll just leave it until I get over to the table. I'm just going to do this row and then I'm going to take it over to the table. Ooh, I had a boo-boo there. Well, it kind of looks like the skeleton, so I'll just make sure it gets quilted really tight here. Well, maybe I will. Put a couple stitches. You know what, I'll probably fix that by hand. put an extra stitch by accident, so pull that back up and I'll just tie it off. I got my first row, and the zigzag stitch was kind of making me think lightning bolt, super scary. So that's why I thought I'd just do that down the middle. I got it tacked down, and then what I'm going to do is actually run it zigzag stitch through here, basically through all the spider webs, crisscrossed. And then my pumpkins and ghosts won't be quilted, but it's just going to be a wall hanging, so that'll be fine. And then I will probably come back in and do some quilting in the border just to have it tacked down. Probably another zigzag stitch, actually probably in gray, and just kind of make it, go in rows. I'm not really very good at the free motion quilting, so I try to pick things that are either straight line or like this, that I can use a decorative stitch down it, and it's something that makes me think of the actual quilt itself. And like I said, this makes me think of lightning. I don't know why, but it does. Lost my foot pedal. There it is. Make sure I'm getting smoothed out here. Machine's making some interesting sounds today. I don't know. Maybe it's the different spool. I'm getting a little too speedy too. That was not a good one. Okay. That one went too far. Ooh, my tension was, uh-oh. I knew it. Should have looked closer. Well, this one looks more like bones than lightning. Or not bones, scars. Scar stitches. Wonder where it happened. So it was way back here. Yep, I should have paid attention to my machine. So, that's a note to you all. Pay attention to your machine. I was hearing something a little bit different, but I just kept going, and now my tension was all wrong on these. Alright, well, I gotta check this out. My backing shifted while I was quilting, so it's come a little bit shorter than, well, a lot shorter than the top. And then, of course, it all is down here. So this is why you're supposed to have a backing that's much bigger than your top. Even in free motion quilting on a domestic machine. I'm going to have a lot of puckers in this quilt too, but I think it'll be fine once it washes up, it'll get that crinkly look anyway, so. But what I decided to do was, rather than quilting the borders, because the backing is shifted and it's so much shorter than the top, I'm just going to cut the border down. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to do it the wrong way around, so don't watch. Should have had this turned, but try to keep my arm out of the way of the blade. And then you can see I don't quite have a mat big enough for doing the whole quilt, so shift it down this way. And continue cutting. And ready for the binding. I'm really going to need to find another table or desk or something to put here. This just pulls right off the edge. But I think I can do this. Okay. So got it folded under. Hopefully we're sticking together okay on the back. Hopefully I'm not going to have too many wrinkles in the binding. I kind of can feel that it's coming apart because I didn't do enough quilting. So, and it's not laying straight enough to keep it good and straight. Yeah, definitely going to have to find something to put right there. Maybe we'll have to make something. Sometimes I will put my binding clips on when I'm machine binding too. But I was thinking I could do that. This one would be small enough, but I'm starting to wonder. Okay, well, I think we're going to find out. I might be a bit short on binding too, so I may have to add some to the end. Yep, definitely too much drag. All right, and there's a couple different ways to bind the corners. I just do a basic fold it over. Sometimes my corners are crinkly and not perfect, but it doesn't really bother me. So, especially since my quilt, my lines are not perfect on this one. If I had spent a lot of time hand quilting something, I would definitely choose to do a nicer binding, but this will work. Yep, too much drag. Can't. There. Maybe that'll help. What I should really probably get is an actual sewing table that I can set my sewing machine down in. But I have spent too much on fabric. I've been looking at quilt machines and frames this week too, but that's not going to happen for a while. Probably for a long time, actually. I think I cut my batting a little bit too long, that's why. Okay. Just didn't quite cut even there. So I'm going to follow along with the line of the fabric, not the batting. Actually, it probably all shifted just since I cut. Actually, maybe I will go just a little bit. That corner's going to be pretty wonky. Right, again, too much weight, so let's try to pull it up there. Try to get this in my lap. Try to get our binding back on. Make sure the backing's straight. All the things. Ooh. Seeing some flaws there. There's plenty of them. But is it Donna from Handmade by Ying that says if you can't see it from a galloping horse, don't worry about it? Okay. Man, that. So yeah, this binding was left over from another project, and it may not be another Halloween project. It may not be enough to, in fact, I know it's not enough to go around this, so I tacked on another strip of just black. And I was thinking it's going to be kind of weird to have mostly scrappy and then a solid black, but I thought, well, it'll be the bottom corner, so it might actually look kind of different and unique. So we'll see. And we'll decide whether or not unique is a word for bad in this case. I think it's just unique. bit short, so I'm kind of lining it up with the edge, but I'm also kind of keeping an eye out here and thinking, yeah, I really just need to line it up with the edge. That way I have enough of a seam in there. It also might be that my 2-inch cut was a little bit off on the border. Last side before I go back to the beginning side. So I always like to start my binding on the bottom. What do you guys think? Oh, just like I try to go about halfway in the quilt on the bottom. Some people I know choose just like a random irregular spot just so that, and I should have gone one more. Well, just fudge it over a little bit. I know, that's bad. And some people will do a machine binding that, you know, literally have the front half and the bottom half together and just bind down. That way you don't have to do it by hand, but I enjoy it by stitching on the back by hand, so I usually just do it this way. Occasionally, if I need to give a gift or something, I will go ahead and iron this in half and then just sew down and have it on both the front and back, finished, done. But most of the time I like folding it over and hand binding it on the back. Alright. No, this is taking way too long. I'm just fighting with this thing. Okay, yep, I'm gonna have to sew another strip on. Well, we'll finish a little bit more here and see where we get to. Whenever I say we in this, I always think, who's we? Me, myself, and I. I might make it. I'm probably going to be half an inch away. Oh yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Check that out. How awesome. Oh well. Put it down just a little bit more and then I'll cut it and sew on the end. I'm gonna cut that there. See what I got for a strip. I just cut a chunk out of a piece that I took off the backing. And I'll just sew it down diagonal here. And then we'll just sew it on. Actually like to go ahead and do a little piece that I'm going to cut off, because eventually I will turn it into a little square and add it into a different project. Oop, I went off a little bit there. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. My seam's going to be too short here, but scant 1/4 inch. Might be more like an actual 1/8. Then I'll throw that over there. And I haven't got this ironed down, but I'm just going to go ahead and sew it on and then I'll iron it down. I like to iron down what I'm going to tuck under, or what I'm going to flip over to the other side, and then it's already ironed down and good. Okay. I really don't even need this much of a piece, but also let's go ahead and press. Press it just a bit here. I'm going to have to fold that under quite a ways, so I won't worry about it just yet, but also it's coming off here. Put this up. It's going to come off the binding just a bit here. And stuff that underneath. We'll just and I could have cut quite a bit off of this, so it really only needed to match up with that, but might as well tuck it in there. In fact, I probably could have almost saved that piece, but it's fine. It'll just be a little bit extra on there. Okay, I'm going to trim my corners off. And then I got my vinyl, and be very careful because that one actually was a little bit short. Yep, that one's not real long either. Okie dokie. Okay, I'm just going to go to town and get the binding clips on. Fold this under, fold that. I haven't ironed this yet, but I'm just going to fold it back really well. It's a little bit long and it needs to be covered up by the other. And so that in there. Get one of our big clips.